There we go. We done flip now.
Hey.
See, I like to do the pin so they know who you're talking to, not just some random dark skinned guy.
Wow, perfect.
Well, first of all, I got to ask, why aren't you playing hopscotch? It's Cinco de Mayo. It's Taco
Oh,
Tuesday. You
we'll
should
get
be
to
blasting
it. We'll get
hopscotch in the
there.
background.
We'll
But
get
anyway,
to it.
welcome to the Make It Plays convo. And really, we're just going to be talking about all the plays that you was making before Corona, what you're doing now, and what you plan on doing once everything is over. So I always like to ask, how are you and your people doing?
They're awesome. I mean, we're all staying healthy and positive, so we're one of the lucky ones. We're doing well.
No doubt. Well, it's good to see you again. You probably don't remember,
Yeah,
but
of course
I
I
thought,
remember you,
you
please.
remember me? I'm shocked because I knew you knew a lot of people, but it's been a minute. I remember when you made your first promo run, when you
Oh
first
my
got signed.
gosh.
I know,
Wow.
right? It's crazy. And look
I
at
was
you
a little
now.
baby. I was a little baby back then.
Look at you now. No labels, managed by Roc Nation. Did
Yep.
a dope album last fall. What else were you
Thank
working on
you.
before everything got shut down?
Well, I was about to go on tour, so I should have been on tour right now.
Right.
Unfortunately, major bummer. But I'm using this time to be able to like keep making music, stay creative, work on new stuff. So it's not all for waste. But even though I wish I was on the road right now so much, but it's gonna be better when we finally get to go back on the road someday.
Nah, absolutely. We need all our artists to get back out there. We miss y'all. We miss these live shows. We need them.
Definitely, yes, I
So let's
agree.
talk about the big decision you made. I mean, you made two big decisions, not only to leave your label, but you also revamped your whole team.
Yeah,
These are
yeah,
two major decisions. You got out your comfort zone. A lot of people wouldn't do that.
major.
Which one came first?
First it was leaving the label, leaving the record label. That just felt like at the end of my last album process that it was such an exhausting process to get that last album out, Joyride, that I was just ready to make moves, to move forward, to try something new, to be free, to kind of feel like I got back to my roots creatively. So it just felt like the right time, and I asked them to be supportive of me in leaving the label, and they actually were, which was really amazing. So that took about, I would say, a few months to probably figure out how to kind of get out of those contracts and negotiate out of those deals with lawyers and this and that. And then
Right.
at that point, it just felt like very natural, like a point in my life where there was pause, where I could kind of take a step back from everything and really look at everything with kind of a different point of view. And that felt like the perfect time to revamp the entire team, like from the ground up, everybody on the team, just making sure that every single person
No doubt. You seem
was
like
new
you're in
and
a better
fresh
space.
energy.
You
Sorry,
seem like
what?
you're in a better space.
Definitely, yeah. Way
So,
better.
what do you like the most about being independent?
I think probably just the freedom that it gives me, like in a mental and spiritual space.
Mhm.
I feel like I can actually create now and be confident in what I'm creating and what I'm doing and my creative decisions, which is where I thrive because I am truly a creative. You know, I don't want to just kind of go through the motions or whatever. It's not
Right.
ultimately fulfilling to me. Um, so yeah, probably that has been the best part, is just kind of gaining that confidence back as a songwriter, as a creative in general.
What's been the most challenging part?
I don't have a budget.
I think that's the story for most independent artists.
Yeah, things are expensive. That's the most challenging part, but we
Yeah.
figure it out.
It's funny because I was having this conversation with Kid Ink last month.
Oh,
Obviously,
is he independent now too?
oh yeah. He left
He
around the
used to
same
be on
time you
RCA
did.
too. That's funny.
Exactly, and y'all signed around the same time.
Yep,
And
yep.
one of the things that he said is he likes the rate that he can put out music. He doesn't have to wait on the label. Do you feel that way as well?
Oh my goodness. I mean, I wanted to put out my album. Okay, I put out, just for a timeline reference, I put out my first album in 2014. I was ready
Right.
to put out my second album by 2016, and it didn't actually come out until 2018.
Wow.
So it took 4 years for my next album to come out with that label, which was, for me, almost like low-key could have like ruined my life. Like it was really hard for me, incredibly hard for me. I think people take for granted, you know, the politics that go behind artists just releasing music and getting music out is very, very, very difficult. Every time an artist gets an album out, it's like a win. It's a huge deal. So for me, night and day, you know, having just the anxiety of knowing that, you know, somebody can't push something back potentially months, weeks, years at a timeline that has nothing maybe potentially to even do with you.
Right.
It's very hard to deal with.
I can imagine. That's what a lot of artists who were on a label who have gone indie say. That's the best part. It's like they can control their own destiny. Yeah, they're putting out their own money, but the freedom, at least you're betting on yourself essentially.
For me, it's so worth it.
So I did check out the album that you dropped in the fall. The standout songs for me were Feelings. I like the line that you said, we don't get mad, we get bags. That should definitely be the line for 2020. Hopscotch and So Much Better with G-Eazy. What were the songs that meant the most to you?
Gosh, I have a few. I like Life's Too Short. I really like Story of Us. I like kind of some of the more mellow songs. Those are probably my top two right now, off the top of my head.
All right.
But I love them all.
Of course, that's your baby, and that was your first project after the label situation, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So that one's gonna have a special place in your heart.
Are we right about that?
Yeah. Are we gonna get more music this year?
100%. I mean, well, okay, I won't say 100% because, like, God forbid, but like, yes.
Yes. So give us.
I'm working on new music all the time.
Give us a sneak peek. Are we gonna get an EP, mixtape, or some singles? We're just happy that you're gonna put out some more new music.
I am never like telling before I have stuff in paper ever again. Like ever. I've learned my lesson because my fans won't let me rest if I tell them some false information.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be on you.
Yeah, stay tuned. Stay tuned.
So I saw you put out like a dance type remix for Save a Room for Us.
Yeah, that was fun.
Was that kind of inspired by your stint on Dancing with the Stars? And by the way, I felt like they jerked you because they shouldn't have eliminated you when they did.
Of course.
When I was looking at your routine, I went back and looked at your routine. Y'all were fired. Y'all was getting good scores.
I mean, that show clearly isn't picking, you know, the most competitive dancers to win the show. Let's just say that. We'll just leave it at that. But it was a really fun experience. It was fun to be on the show for sure. But yeah, the song, I mean, we didn't really dance to any songs like that on Dancing with the Stars. It was more like cha-chas and rumbas and stuff. But yeah, it's cool to be able to put out music that makes you want to dance, or stuff that you can dance to is always important to me.
Got you. Did you pick up anything that you're going to implement in your shows?
What do you mean on Dancing with the Stars? I don't think so.
Yeah, right now, I'm good.
I don't think so.
So you
probably leave those moves.
You don't need those moves. I was a little confused why they made you dance to like a slower version of Two On. That was just kind of weird. I
forgot about that. I like blocked that out of my memory. We danced to like a like a waltz version.
Yeah, it was like a waltz version. I'm like, what are y'all doing?
I don't know. It was a remix.
Funny. So you obviously opened up a new chapter in your
life.
What's
up, Boy Wonder? Boy Wonder in the chat right now.
You said what?
I said Boy Wonder's watching right now. Hey.
Oh, no doubt. Shout out to Boy Wonder. So obviously you open up a new chapter in your life, new team, no label, doing things your way. Is there anything else outside of music that you're working on?
No. No, not really. Music is my main focus. You know, I'd be making art as well, obviously, all the time, just creative things, making stuff out of nothing. I love to paint. I love to create. I'm always thinking of new ideas and projects and stuff I want to work on. Definitely more on the theatrical side of things in the future. But music is just still my like #1 focus. All I really care about in the world.
I think this is going to be a big step for you. I don't want to get deep, but you know, when you look at numbers, you said you were on the label for 7 years, right?
Yeah,
And
7 years since 2012.
seven represents the number of completion, and
Yes.
eight represents the number of new beginnings. So
I like that.
I think this was meant for you to take this step, and you are
This
on.
would be my 8th year in the game, so here you go, new beginnings. Feels right.
What's the most important lesson that you've learned? I mean, 8 years. There's a lot of artists that don't last for 8 minutes, but you
Definitely.
are still doing your thing. 8 years later, putting out quality music, and you're signed with one of the best management companies in the game, being Roc.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're amazing.
What's the biggest lesson that you've learned so far?
I think the biggest thing that I've learned is you can't ever stop. Like, really, truly, I feel like that's what separates the people that stay in the game and the people that don't stay in the game, because it's such a mind game half the time as well. You know, there's so much just adversity and pressure and, you know, everybody betting against you, or, you know, whatever you may be up against. It's not an easy business to navigate. So I think that staying power and having that sense of confidence in yourself and having that like unwavering belief in yourself is really what separates people. Because if you just keep making music, you know, you'll have your moment, or you keep making art, you know, people will recognize it and appreciate it. So that's all you got to focus on.
Good advice right there. So I'm gonna wrap it up with my quarantine questions, because I know you're ready to take your shots and make your tacos.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make tacos. Taco Tuesday.
I saw. So these are my quarantine questions. What is the best thing you've watched so far since we've been on lockdown?
Oh, the best thing. I've really been enjoying the Michael Jordan documentary. I've been into that.
Awesome.
That's been fun. Yeah, that's been really cool to be able to come back, have something to look forward to every week.
The closest thing we got to sports right now. What was your favorite episode so far?
I really liked the last episode. Was it 4 or was that 6? I guess that was 6.
I think it was 6, yeah.
6. Yeah, it was a little bit more controversial. So I liked that. It wasn't quite as clean and perfect. It showed kind of a darker side, or, you know, just a more human side. And I think that's cool.
Agreed. And I dropped a thug tear when they showed Kobe in the beginning.
Yeah,
that hit me right here. Those two
special.
episodes were the best for those reasons. Have you tried cooking any new foods? We know you're gonna cook some tacos tonight, but anything new you tried?
Have I cooked anything new? No. I've just been kind of trying to like cook things in different ways. Like maybe just like whatever's in the fridge, like how can I prepare this in a different way? Like mostly kind of that. Experimenting, not trying to follow recipes as much as I probably typically would.
Got you. That's fair. So there's a bunch of comments. People want me to ask this question. Do you have a quarantine bag?
No.
No quarantine bag? Okay, fellas, shoot your shot.
No.
Slide up in the DM now. You better get a whole bunch
over yet.
So. And my last question, what's the first thing you're going to do once all this is over?
Whew. Plan that tour. Get back on the road, honestly. And I mean, like the day of, probably just like go to like my favorite restaurant with my friends.
Yeah. No doubt. Well, I'm going to let you get to your Taco Tuesday. I'm going to let you get to your shots. But once you get back to the road, get back to that tour, you come to Atlanta, come through to the Pandora office. Uh-oh. I said once you get back to Atlanta, come through to the Pandora office so we can chop it up and show you your numbers and all that stuff. All
100%. Right? Great to talk to you.
Great talking to you again. Enjoy your Taco Tuesday. Don't drink too much. Don't drink too much now. I'm gonna cheers you on this. Got my water.
Bye.
Take care.